Freestyle the news. Let's get it.
Classy.
Woo! Been a minute, but I talk when I'm outside. Every city put a thumb on the fault line. They've been trying to make a run on the wrong sign. Eye for an eye, motherfucker, you ain't blind. Fall off on your record like it's all Drake. 18, motherfucker, you the wrong age. ID, and we never on the same page. Welcome to the era where the air all the wrong takes. Yeah, no, ugly motherfuckers with the hats on. I'm about to put them in a bad spot. America the weapon, every time you wanna check them, it's a mascot. Oh, now you all about the jeans for the character. Funny how the dime when you looking like a Lannister. With all the fucking predators and speaking to the manager to get away with traffic in a battle all the marriages you can't have. Down so bad, occupy, fascist drag. Catch me out in public with a straw hat flag. You a bitch, motherfucker, when your numbers all crash. And just like that, get canceled. Kill a fucking journalist, bullshit answers. Suddenly a terrorist, these motherfuckers arrogant. Downplay a ceasefire, yo, what the fuck are you, American? Frauds get caught in the march like Kingston. Motherfuckers want a king when the hill hit different. Got a bitch fucked up like a shot from Christie. Turn a football stand to a Swiftie. Scorch that earth, I don't need the brand. I got the star line heavy like I need the chance. Y'all keep talking about the game like you know the plans. It's so advanced it don't exist like Cuomo fans. Been a minute, but I talk when I'm outside. Every city put a thumb on the fault line. They've been trying to make a run on the wrong sign. Eye for an eye, motherfucker, you ain't blind. Fall off on your record like it's all Drake. 18, motherfucker, you the wrong age. ID, and we never on the same page. Welcome to the era where the air all the wrong takes. Blah! Too soon. About time, about time. Hello, and welcome to the new space. It's weird having it on this side. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, please use your magical voice to craft the golden net over most of Korea as you hold back the demon hordes, one of whom you've fallen for, and also you're trying to conceal the patterns that you've been hiding for years because you're ashamed of them, but at the same time you're coming to terms with your own abilities. Also, every fucking song you sing is a bop. And then leave a comment on your favorite bar. What do I even need to say at this point? K-pop Demon Hunters fucking clears everything. I wanted to watch this movie when I saw the trailer because it seemed crazy and fun, but man, the music in this movie was so fucking good. Please shut up and go watch it if you already haven't. If you haven't watched it, who are you? Yeah, but if you're wondering what my favorite songs are, it's What It Sounds Like, Soda Pop, How It's Done, and Golden. I know, yeah, Golden is number 4. I like the others better. Sue me. It's good to be back. We haven't done a Freestyle the News since I think the middle of June. Overall, we've been busy with the Evo album. By the way, Pressure, the music of Evo 2025 is now available on all streaming services, including iTunes, including Bandcamp. Go check it out. Please support if you can. Get it off iTunes or Bandcamp. We really worked hard on this thing. It's the most consistent version of this kind of thing that we've ever done. No skips. And also, hi. We're in a new studio. Very quickly, yes, some things are gonna move around. Yes, maybe the white balance in this video is gonna change a little bit because I'm still adjusting. I haven't even changed out the lights yet, but it's a more dedicated space. I'm gonna have to do more content, and this move was so exhausting. There were a bunch of things that were like misunderstood or botched. We had a guy come over and some of the information wasn't relayed to the movers, so our move costed less, but a lot less shit was packed. So over the last week, we've had to pack ourselves and just bring shit. It's been a mess. But look, I'll talk about it more in detail at some other point. I'm just really happy to be in this new space, to be back with y'all. And let's really quickly just dive in and get into this breakdown. We got so much to fucking talk. Like, the world exploded for like a minute, right? And let's start off with, of the many major developing stories this weekend, Donald Trump, the DC takeover, the Putin meeting, and whatever the fuck else he's doing now, the fucking guy. Look, it is no secret that Donald Trump has been ratcheting up his most egregious tendencies over the last few months, but this last month in particular deserves like a gold fucking star for how shit it is. Amongst invading DC, directly requesting a gerrymander, threatening Rosie O'Donnell, why? Well, fuck it. Well, you hated Harriet the spy that much? Right after pretending that the pedophile transcripts that he promised to release were no longer important anymore. Trump's position right now is both scarily authoritarian and politically disadvantaged and damaged. Let's go through it, and we'll start with DC. Earlier yesterday, Trump ordered the West Virginia National Guard to assist in the federalization of the DC police force, ratcheting up an already tenuous and chilling escalation. That's happening under a bullshit pretense anyway. Crime in DC is at a 30-year low. And when confronted with that statistic, Trump just goes like, oh, well, those aren't real numbers. Those are fake Democrat numbers. Only I know the real numbers, like only I know where the real Jeffrey Epstein list is. Why? I don't know. I guess there's just a connection between numbers and me being a predator. Yeah, 18, Donald. But anyway, in response to all of this, right, there was also multiple Republican-led states signaling that they would send their National Guards to DC as well. Now, in terms of pushback, Marian Bowser is finally making some headway on giving some, with DC suing the Trump administration over the federalization. And by the way, just to clarify, I understand that Bowser is in a very weird position with all the laws around DC and where she has to toe the line. But at the same time, if you give a fat piece of shit a cookie, he's gonna, you know, federalize the police force. But I will give her props for pushing back against Trump when he tried to name Pam Bondi as the interim DC police chief. I would assume just to protect any other pedophiles that are in DC as well. So much fucking talk about that list, Pam. Release it, you fucking coward. But anyway, over the last few days, actually, a judge ruled that the DC police chief remains in charge and Bondi can't just take it over. However, the Trump administration can demand help on immigration if Trump so chooses, which, to be honest, is within the bounds of power that we know and have seen before, without him pushing much further. And that's the big issue over this whole thing, right? Like, what's interesting in Trump's strategy here is that he's using a pretty specific statute within DC that we all know that he had power over. He used it in 2020, yet all of his messaging and posturing around it feels like he wants his critics to scream, oh, this is overreach. Oh, this is authoritarian. And look, it's disingenuous to act like it's not overreach. All right, his justification for federalizing the DC police force is dog shit. Like we said, crime is at a 30-year low, but it's a loophole that he has been before, and it seems like he really wants to let people know that he just does not give a fuck. He's like that guy on a ledge who's like, I'll fucking do it. And you can see that in multiple different places, not only this whole DC federalization saga, but also the gerrymandering that's out in the open while he tries to coerce other Republican states into becoming more polarized than they already have. But you can also see it in his meeting with Putin over Ukraine. This meeting with Russia in Alaska was such a big fucking deal. Every news fucking outlet was speculating what's gonna happen, what's gonna go on. Trump had made so many fucking statements and call outs like, oh, Putin's not gonna get away with this. That he was frustrated that Putin had not agreed to a ceasefire and that he was playing games. He's gonna be tough on him. He's gonna be strong on it. He's gonna lay the fucking law down. And what the fuck happened? Putin arrives in Alaska and he kisses his fucking shoes. And then after hours of deliberation, Trump doesn't come away with a ceasefire deal, doesn't come away with any concessions, and seemingly adopts Putin's line. What a colossal fucking pussy. And what's interesting in this situation specifically is that it's within Trump's best interest that Putin make concessions and end the war. He politically benefits from that and has so many incentives to make that happen. And I know we all like to say like, oh, Trump is Putin's asset or whatever the fuck, right? But for a second, take that speculation and all that out for a second. If you reasonably think about how all of this has turned out, it seems eerily similar to how Biden tried to handle Netanyahu. So much fucking talk to senators at the State of the Union, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden he's meeting and shaking hands and kissing shoes. Nothing really fucking changes. What probably happened is Trump tried to lay down some shit. Putin said no, put the line in the sand, right? Was super uncooperative, and Trump fucking caved because he didn't have the leverage to push back. Or he thought the leverage he has compromised his fucking image somehow. But now he has to strongman it because he can't fucking lose. He's gotta be like Roy Cohn, oh, I won everything, even though I fucking am considered the biggest piece of shit in history next to my apprentice. And this is what I'm trying to get at, right? Donald Trump does the most damage when he does what all strong men do, but ineffectively. Try to flex. The DC federalization of the police is a flex. It's 100% him trying to flex. Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. He's a dog pissing on your floor and saying, yeah, bitch, clean that up. And what happens when he meets another dog that won't fucking listen to him, that just runs all over him? Oh, no, we're friends. We're friends. It's all going according to plan. We're all fucking good. I don't need to flex on him. He seems like a cool guy who, you know, is fucking kills journalists. This dog, I guess, killed journalists. I don't know where we are with this metaphor. And look, I think we mentioned this in the wrap, but a new poll came out with Pew Research Center the other day with Trump at a net approval rating of -22. That is a gargantuan gap. Now, its margins make it a bit of an outlier, but the trend of the numbers make it pretty accurate and in line with what seems to be going on. You're going to see Trump flex the powers that he already has in ways that are more and more brazen and draconian, because we haven't updated any of the United States policies the way we should have over the last 30 years. I think logistically we have little in the way to argue against bad faith in government, right? And to be honest, even within leftist movements, the policies proposed don't do enough, right, to safeguard against corruption that could happen there. And don't get it twisted, I'm not just trying to come for leftists, right? I'm just saying corruption is bipartisan. It does not choose an ideology, right? It is just a thing that happens with people who want to be fucking selfish. You always have to look out for it. And when it comes to winning back the White House and really beating fascism in a way that is conclusive, right? In a way that we move forward, I think whatever policies you have to come up with need to start thinking about how to curb bad faith partisanship, because as we know all too well, even if you stop this guy now, it could happen again. As for both DC and Ukraine, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I expect Trump to continue to try to bluster and push the boundaries, but eventually peter out when he hits a wall to compromise his incentives or what strongman image he wants to kind of put up. I think the Ukraine stuff is going to probably be explicitly controversial. He's probably going to get worse with Zelensky in general, but I don't think this flex in DC is helping his case as much as he thinks it is. Or it just gets boring, or he drops it when it gets boring. By the way, do you know how many stories of him like pushing the boundaries and doing really shitty things have happened this year where suddenly they just got boring and then he just fucking lost because he stopped paying attention? There's a fucking lot that happened in the background. But look, that's the story for another day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Look, the last few weeks have been a cacophony of overwhelmingness on their best day. And when it comes to reporting on all of that, coupled with my own anxiety and decision paralysis, and oh my God, I have to move now, I tend to fall back into bad habits to kind of cope with stress. Stress just does that, especially after you like drop an album and move. For example, me eating or just other specific vices, like the oral mouth fixation is a real thing. It just creates this bad cycle, which makes the thing you're trying to address worse. And look, that's a big reason why I've been using Fume, the sponsor of today's show, and what's been a big help for relieving my stress throughout all of this. Fume is flavored air. Award-winning flavored air. It's a flavored air device that's supposed to help you replace your bad habits in a very mindful way. It's designed in a really intelligent way with these nice textures and these little fidgety things that help you deal with the more kind of active parts of your brain. Also, like I said, flavored air, so like no smoke, no nicotine, just a small little capsule, right, to give you something to enjoy without the chemicals. There's no like inhalation. The flavors, by the way, taste great. Like I'm a really, really big fan of crisp mint and also maple pepper. Personally, crisp mint is like a nice little wake up for me. And again, there's no vapor on these things. You just let the air into your mouth for a little bit and then let it out, and then it really hits that hand to mouth fixation that like a lot of us tend to have really, really well. And look, if you want to try Fume for yourself, you can go right now to tryfume.com/Zed, enter in the code Zed, and you'll get a free Fume topper, absolutely free. Something great to just level up the experience. So look, if you're trying to kick your bad habit, you have a little bit of a fidgety personality like I do, or if you just want to support my rap news show through an insane move I did not see coming, Go to tryfume.com/Zed, enter in the code Zed, get that free fume topper, and try to kick your bad habits today. All right, back to the breakdown. All right, I've heard from over like 1 million of you. That's an exaggeration. I've heard from a lot of you over the last week, and we'll finally fucking talk about it, right? Let's talk about COSA, YouTube age verification ID, and all of this shit. So look, if you've been living under a rock, first off, hello, hi, how's your back? Also, why did you choose a rock to live under? There's like a fucking million other things and places available to you that are better. Choose better next time, bro. But number two, not too long ago, the UK passed a law called the Kids Online Safety Act, or COSA, right? Pretty much an act that was sold to the public as this way to try to prevent kids from accessing notoriously explicit material on adult sites and all that shit. Well, what happened is, surprise, surprise, the language in the document was written in such a poor way that it ended up affecting everything on the internet. So for example, when it comes to listening to explicit songs on Spotify, if Spotify thinks that you may be a teen under the age of 18, then they'll ask you for a valid government ID. And then you gotta prove you're 18 to listen to the Kendrick song with the word fuck in it again. If you're watching this after a certain date, you may have already been prompted to do this. And this whole thing has of course raised a wide variety of multiple security concerns, including what the fuck is going on? Why am I giving my ID to these websites? What information am I giving away? And here's the thing. YouTube recently announced in the United States and pretty much everywhere that they would be rolling out new beta features, one of which is an AI that will look at your activity and previous watches and all that kind of shit and determine whether you are 18 years of older or younger. And so I think you already know where I'm going with this. Let's say you watch the new Superman movie, right? And you're like, oh man, I want to watch a bunch of Superman the Animated Series. So you go down this rabbit hole and you watch like 30 fucking clips, right? And they go, hey, I think you're actually like a 12-year-old. Like after you've watched this, you must be a child, which by the way, says a lot about me. YouTube, what the fuck are you talking? Are you saying that my interests aren't cool? You dick. All joking aside, that flags your account. And now you have to enter in your fucking driver's license if you want to fucking watch anything with the word fuck in it, or Mortal Kombat gameplay, or like scenes from a horror movie, or one of the many things that you see on YouTube. I don't know what you're watching. That's already frustrating, but what's even more frustrating is that means more information about you is given to YouTube and their parent company, Google. Very important information about a very important document of yours that they can fucking sell to database. It's fucking bananas. It's gotten people reasonably scared and frustrated, with many thinking that this is the end of everything. This is the beginning of censorship on a mass scale. A lot of fucking conspiracy theories like this is how the Trump administration is going to track people. Many creators worried about their livelihoods and the kind of content that we're going to get to create. So what is the deal with all of this going on in general? All right, I have a few thoughts. Number one, it should be obvious that I'm not pro censorship. I'm a fucking rapper, dude. Even for crazy assholes I dislike, I think you should be allowed to say what you want to say, but I do think that you get to reap the consequences, and the context around what people say shouldn't be misleading. But I saw something on the internet a few weeks ago with somebody who saw what these policies were going to be, saying, how can I trust YouTube to guess my age right when they can't even get content ID right? And to be honest, that's kind of a fucking bar. It's absolutely true, all right? All of these AI tools that these big companies are adopting to try to identify different aspects of you, right, are woefully inefficient, except for like Discover Weekly. I don't know how the fuck that thing works, but it is. What are you doing? But most of the algorithms, when they try to denote specific things about you, are bad at it unless they're like listening to a microphone or some shit, right? About 2 months ago, my girlfriend got locked out of her TikTok account. And guess what? They thought it was because she was 16. She is not 16, by the way, all right? I'm not Jerry Seinfeld. But in order for her to prove that she was an adult woman, right, she also had to give her fucking driver's license and take a picture with her face right next to it in order for TikTok to go, oh, you have a baby face. It's also her birthday while I'm recording this, so happy birthday. But look, even outside of it being her birthday, that's wildly terrifying for TikTok with all of the controversies around it to have that specific information from her. And here's the other scary things. Even outside of tech platforms, as much as people say they don't like people or platforms having their information like that, everyone is constantly giving it away all the time. They've been doing it for decades, since before the Apple TOS, which is another big privacy fucking blow up that happened years ago, right? Since before the 90s and the invention of the internet. Believe it or not, it's kind of a rule these days that many in society will sacrifice privacy for speed or efficiency all the time. For example, surveillance cameras on the streets was a huge fucking issue back in the 1970s. Wait, motherfuckers are just gonna be watching you? What? But now, people who've been born after that period, it's ingrained in them, oh, these cameras are normal. They're here for safety or for finding impropriety and shit like that. Well, yeah, but it came at the expense of other people's privacy. Even now it does sometimes, right? And that has happened over and over and over again as technology has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And that means there's good news and then there's bad news, right? The bad news is people need to take this shit more seriously, and they tend to not, because hey, speed and efficiency, let's fucking have it, right? And you can't just be giving your information away like all the fucking time willy-nilly, right? Or else giant corporations are gonna keep taking advantage of you. However, the good news is things are probably gonna reset back to normal. Look, I'm not gonna cape for YouTube, but if you look at YouTube's incentives, they want to keep people on the platform for as long as they possibly fucking can. That's how they make money, right? That's how all of these social media platforms make money, is watch time, right? Click-through rate and watch time. If any of those go down, the platform loses money. So look, if they stop you from watching the content that you want to watch and you have to go through this giant fucking arduous process, right, to watch it again, that means it's going to be so much harder for them to keep you on the platform because you're just going to fucking click off to something else. Platforms have these issues all of the time. Oh my God, there's more ads than there should be. Oh my God, this video isn't feeding into this video correctly. Oh my God, the buffering is an issue. Like the whole point is the experience has to be like, oh, this was fun, I'm clicking on another thing, I'm clicking on another thing. YouTube will roll this back if it interferes with their bottom line. But I don't expect that to happen anytime soon, right? I think the public outcry from this was exactly what needed to happen, because at the end of the day, these are giant media companies, right? When their own media and platforms are telling them that this is a red line in the sand that will make it harder to watch on their platforms, they are slow, but they do tend to listen. YouTube has been kind of both. It's been stubborn in the past on certain things that it wants to move forward with on its platform. And it's also been really agile when things are really, really compromising to the people who are using it. But watch time has always been key. I think KOSA is a bad law, right? Okay, I hope there are more efforts to repeal it in the near future. Also, we've been having this debate about like, oh, well, we have to protect kids. To be honest, every time people introduce laws to protect kids from media like this, it just gets worse. If you want to protect your kids, be a good parent and teach them how to engage with the media in a healthy fucking way. But till then, it's just going to be putting a little bit more work to make sure the content that you love gets seen, and making sure that watching your favorite videos doesn't feel like a bar you're getting carded at. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. We're almost at 100K. Also, big shout out to Fume for sponsoring this episode. Go to the link in the description. You can get a free topper. And thank you guys for being so patient. I'm so sorry for the long periods of hiatus. Like it was a very, very tough project this year. Also, we had the move. Also, we had my girlfriend's birthday. It's been crazy, but I am so fucking excited for this space. Like I know this is kind of whatever lighting right now, but we're gonna get this thing spruced up, and I'm really excited for the future. Also, go watch Go for Lethal because we have there's a lot of crazy stuff's happening in the One Piece card game right now. But anyway, my name is Tabani. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go.